Hi, I'm Dr. Chisenhall. I am going to be your instructor for ECE 226, Assessment of Young Children. So I look forward to working with you and learning with you this semester as we learn more about the importance of assessing young children and the appropriate ways to assess young children. If you haven't already, please take a look at the orientation video that I posted last week in the welcome announcement. That video will give you an overview of how to locate and find all the resources and tools and assignments for this course, and might answer some of the questions that you have regarding getting started. This video is all about week 1. So I'm going to make myself little here and go ahead and show you our module 1 page on D2L. So by the end of this week, you're going to be able to explain the purpose of assessment and how assessment in early childhood has changed over the years. We're also going to take a look at some of the different types of assessments that are appropriate to use with young children and what we do with the assessment information once we collect it. You're going to want to read Chapter 1 in your textbook. There is a textbook required. I've included the information on our course D2L as well as my welcome announcement, but it's called Assessment in Early Childhood Education, 8th edition. So either after you've read Chapter 1 or while you are reading Chapter 1, you might want to look at the Chapter 1 overview that I've created here. So first of all, what is assessment? So if we were together face to face, I would have you discuss that in small groups and all share together. What is assessment? Well, we know that assessment is a tool to gather information to find out what a person knows and can do. But there's a second part of assessment, and that is using that information for something, whether we use that information to plan instruction for that person, or we use that information to get someone medical help, or we use that information to know what place or setting is best for that person. The assessment information shouldn't just be collected and sit on a shelf. It should have some type of purpose. There should be something that we use it for. And you see those bullet list right there about the purpose of assessment. If we scroll down, we know that assessment has changed over the years. We know that standardized tests are not developmentally appropriate to use for children. However, we know that the federal government still wants children tested in order to make sure that the programs are accountable for how the funds are being used, but also accountable that they are implementing a quality program that meets the needs of students. So there's different laws and regulations regarding assessment of early childhood that are supposed to help make sure those objectives for assessment are being met. There's also some concerns about assessing young children. We know sometimes it can be very difficult to assess very young children, and so sometimes they're not always assessed accurately. Again, we know that there's a push in some areas to use standardized assessments, and we know that that's not developmentally appropriate for young children. Many children that might have a cultural or language difference are not necessarily being assessed in a manner that really allows them to demonstrate and show all that they know and can do. Sometimes children with special needs, again, aren't assessed in a manner that really allows them to show what they can do in order to get the instruction that they need to continue to meet their goals. And then last, assessment results are not always used for the intended purpose of the assessment. However, with lots of research and advocating for the appropriate use of assessment in early childhood, we're definitely seeing some progress. We see that instead of standardized tests being used in early childhood, more authentic or performance-based assessments are being used. That is when we're actually seeing and observing the child in their natural setting performing a certain skill or performing a certain task. So if we want to see or know if a child can sort or match items, then we'll give them items that we actually physically have them sort and match while we observe them performing those tasks, or maybe mark off on a checklist what they're able to do or not able to do. We also know that alternative assessments are very important in early childhood, and that's when we collect samples of the children's work, we record our observation notes, we give the children multiple different opportunities to show us what they know and can do. And then the last thing is pedagogical documentation. And again, that is our process of collecting children's work in order to assess their developmental needs. So I'm sure you're probably familiar with the use of anecdotal notes and running records and making sure that we are accurately documenting our observations and documenting when we see children completing these authentic or performance-based assessments. So just to review, we want to make sure that the assessments that we give in early childhood are as close to real life as possible, that the child just feels like they are playing or they're doing what they normally and naturally do, and we're observing them in that setting, and that they have multiple opportunities at multiple different times in multiple different settings to really show us what they know and what they can do and what they understand. So I'm going to go back to Module 1. Underneath of the Module 1 overview, you have a link to the NAEYC position statement on curriculum assessment and program evaluation. So this is a great article where NAEYC talks about, as early childhood teachers, we have an ethical responsibility to collect assessment information and use it in a developmentally appropriate manner. Many of our child care centers here in Delaware are part of the STARS program. So when you click on this link, it will take you to Delaware STARS curriculum and child assessment information. Curriculum's at the top. So if you scroll down here, you'll see the child assessment information, and they discuss what is child assessment, and they have connections to the NAEYC indicators. They answer the questions, why do we assess young children, and offer the assessment choices that are approved by Delaware STARS. So this is a good resource for you. So if we click back over to Module 1, underneath of that, you see information about Race to the Top. Race to the Top is mentioned towards the end of Chapter 1 as the latest endeavor by the federal government to make sure that we are offering quality early childhood programming. Well, here's their website, and there's many links and resources that are included in Race to the Top's website. So if we go back to Module 1, underneath of Race to the Top link, you see your 2 assignments for this week. There's a discussion board and there's a week 1 quiz. So in the discussion board, please first take a few minutes to introduce yourself, share some things about you so we can get to know you, and then you have 3 questions here to respond to regarding assessment. So you may answer these questions and complete this discussion board as either a written format, or you can make a video of yourself and post your video introducing yourself and answering these questions. Please post your original response by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday and reply to 2 of your classmates by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. There's also a quiz. This quiz is 5 short answer questions that will act as a review of the information that's covered in Chapter 1. So please complete that by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me. I'm excited to be working with you and learning with you. And even though we're not face-to-face, I am definitely here for you, and I look forward to getting to know you. So have a great first week. Take care.